Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? Talking Shit Tuesday. That's right. Talking Shit Tuesday, the OG show that got everything started, where I started venturing off on my own and started saying, well, you know, VMP shit popped off and I seem to be the star. So why not copy that and make it my own and make a bunch of money while I'm at it? Thank you, Carrie, for the idea. I stole it, made it better. Today, what we're going to talk about is there's a seemingly, I don't know, there's like a trend that's happening with the automobile manufacturers, namely Volkswagen, General Motors, and believe it or not, Toyota back in 2022 started talking about investing more in ICE production and leaving EV kind of on the back burner because seemingly it's not taking off like they thought it would. It looks like the competition on EV is going to boil down to two companies, Tesla, and I think the Chinese one, I forget the name. I should have probably been prepared for that, but I don't give a fuck. But there's a Chinese company, BYD, that Trump said they're going to put tariffs on. And the only reason BYD hasn't made a big splash in America is because of the tariffs and potential issues with taxes and basically fees to get the cars over here and be priced competitively. And before any of you guys say, I would never buy that Chinese junk, you got Harbor Freight Tools, don't you? You go to Walmart, don't you? Most of the stuff that you buy is Chinese. Your iPhone's Chinese, your Samsung's Chinese. Most of the stuff you buy is Chinese or has a Chinese battery. So when it comes to the EV car game, you and I both know that if BYD comes here with Chinese $30,000 seemingly luxurious, highly optioned SUVs or sedans, you'll buy them because Americans buy cheap shit. That whole rah-rah made in America stuff is long and dead. We'll read a couple of articles of what's happening with GM, Toyota, and Volkswagen investing in ICE, and then we'll get to your questions, comments, and concerns, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly says hello to the people here.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks!
It always does suck, Mr. Bill O'Reilly. We got D&H Performance and Performance.com, where to get the online parts out for the show. Basically, injectors, fuel systems, wheels, tires, any part you can think of. You get it through D&H Performance.com. Mention my name, YDBT at checkout, you might get a discount. Caliber Transmission, CaliberTrans.com. According to him, 3160s are flying off the shelf. Mach 1, GT250, and Dark Horse transmissions apparently are selling extremely well. Remember, guys, he does TR6060s, T56s, G-Force gear set, race shit. He knows what he's doing. Check him out. LMP, late model performance. They got my Corvette, and they're like, yo, this shit's fucked. This thing has leaked. They did a leak down test, and it's all fucked up. So I'm running on like 7.5 cylinders apparently, but fuck it, I'm gonna keep driving it until that thing explodes. PMAP, Nick James, and PMAP, the best cold everything on the planet. Parts Farm for all you used Mustang, Camaro, and all late model parts needs. MFP of Australia, 2 Auto Solution, Rami Auto Solution, and Bellac, Mr. Damian Borrato of Bellac out of Miami, selling some of the prettiest wheels on late model vehicles, whether it's Hondas, Mustangs, even Fox body wheels. They got a little bit of everything. Let's say hi to the people here, but before that, let's say hi to the people on the Patreon chat. That's right, I made a little Patreon chat that I said I would talk about live. It's called a during show chat. Ed's Car Videos, Jose Abella, Kona Blue, Bryson Whip, Michael Burke, Mandip Singh, 2000, Matt 2011 GT, Boxy Luxury, Michael Burke, Randy Martinez, Kona Blue, Ed's Car Videos again, Phil Fesenthal, Matt 2011 again, Daniel. They're all in this hoe, and I'll say hi to the other people that are on the live chat on YouTube. Again, if you're on Patreon, you can get in on that live chat, and I'll have it up the whole time. D-Rock Fox, B. Levice, Joe Swish, Leon Phelps, Cayo Bravo, Hong Solo, Money 540, Douche Did It, Clean Out 3GT, TJ Sikorsky, GT Mustang, Nasir Ramirez, Baeza, Pito Chiquito, Christian Duran, Joe Jackson, Renee, Ray Tango, Phil Fez, Mark Christensen, Nate Dogg, Boxy Luxury, JD Swag, and Bryson Witt. Wings, Cody Jones, EPA, Robo Style, Justin, ATX Cobra, Yusuf 1, Z, Pacho, Brandon B, Johnny Trans, Rudy Bucala, Juan Salinas, Matt Oliver, Coyote, Ants, Mark, 13, Nardi Mercado a couple of times, DV, 2 J's and 5 O's, 5150 Capri, Alpine Guy, Nat Jew, 5150 Capri again, Honest Mike, Santana, Hoodie, Cornfed Cow, Dixon 225, Venom Racing, Blicky Bobby, Brand, Roberto Flores, Mr. Chris Joyner joined us on the other chat. Just going to show the other chat here. Chris Joyner, Brandon Me, Dave, what is it? Exxon Devil Dog. Everyone's here. 2 chats. I'm just going to bounce back and forth from both chats. If you guys got something funny going on the Patreon chat, I'll mention it there. But for now, I'm going to get onto why GM specifically is trying to invest in ICE stuff. So apparently, in June of last year, General Motors announced $1 billion to invest in Flint, Michigan manufacturing plants to prepare for the production of the next generation ICE engined heavy duty trucks. They also announced another $500 million for its Arlington, Texas plant to prepare the production for future ICE SUVs. That makes me happy because one thing General Motors does way better than anybody else, in my opinion, is make full-size V8 SUVs and full-size trucks. And I've always wanted, and I don't love the thought of a twin turbo, kind of highly complicated motor, twin turbo, EcoBoost, dual overhead cam, direct injected / port injected, workhorse of a vehicle. To me, that motor is more of a performance motor, whereas a LT cam and block, 6 liters, I think that's more of like a workhorse that's just going to do what it does and be fine. But apparently, Toyota did this back in 2022, and Volkswagen also said the executive acknowledged that EVs are the future, but also said that the past is not over. His announcement that VW would invest a third of its planned EV funds in ICE tech is a reversal of previous statements, and this was in late 2023. So what's happening? Like, what happened all of a sudden that people, especially these manufacturers, are saying, why are we heading back towards ICE? Simple. I think the government push didn't work, and the global economy isn't doing great. And let's just be honest, when everyone's making money, everyone's happy. So they were trying to push EV stuff down your throat, and only 2 companies really matter when it comes to EV stuff. Same as cell phones, right? Nokia's done, BlackBerry's done. You don't hear LG maybe, right? LG, you might hear about cell phone stuff. But the vast majority of cell phones is Samsung or Android-powered devices and Apple. So if you're going to buy a cell phone, you're going to look at 2 companies, Samsung or Apple. You are not going to go, well, let me see what Nokia has going on. I had that Nokia brick back in the late 90s, early 2000s. That thing was awesome. No one says, hey, I'd love a Treo. Let's see what Treo is doing. Nobody's looking at that. They're looking at Samsung devices and they're looking at Apple devices. So when it comes to EV, you automatically think Tesla. And if BYD is allowed to come in and compete through Mexico, because that's how BYD is going to do it. BYD is not going to come right up your ass, and say, let's just have cars shipped here and flood the market with ultra cheap Chinese vehicles that probably are halfway decent for the money. The tariffs are going to be high, but they're trying to get around that through Mexico. If Trump comes in, rest assured he's going to put 100% tariff on that shit. He's going to start saying, okay, so whatever your vehicle cost, let's say the vehicle's $30,000, $60,000. It's 100% tariffs, and immediately it throws the economic value of bringing BYD power electric vehicles here. It doesn't make it great, and they can just concentrate on the rest of the world, China, Europe, and all that stuff. Australia has BYD vehicles, if I'm not mistaken. So BYD is massive, and they're actually making a big dent in Tesla's sales. But the EV push has been slowed down because there's no money in it. Ford complained not too long ago that a lot of the cars are sitting in lots, and over 100-day, there's like a 60-day turnaround that they want with these vehicles. I don't think they want more than 60-day supply at dealerships. All of a sudden, they're there almost double the time, and they're like, well, that means that if they're there longer, the factory has to slow down production. And if the factory slows down production because units aren't selling, then everybody loses money. So I think it's an interesting thing where people are saying, let's just go back to ICE, offer more ICE vehicles, refine the ICE game, not give you junk, because what was happening is they were basically kind of pulling back and giving you not so great ICE options to push EV down your throat. But now people didn't buy it. People didn't buy the Mustang Mach-E like they thought they would. Now people like California are going to say, oh, hey, we didn't have a gas tax because there is no gas tax when it comes to EV vehicles. So now we're going to tax you for more money. That's going to happen across the board. Remember, guys, whatever California does, the rest of the states tend to follow, like Washington, Massachusetts, any state that virtue signals carbon tax, green energy bullshit. Texas soon. Whatever California does, they're going to go, oh, we're going to follow suit. They do it. Why can't we do it? So if they start taxing electric EVs per mile because there is no gas tax and they have to make revenue up somewhere, the majority of the manufacturers are going to go, well, we're not going to make as many because they're not going to sell as many because it's going to be more expensive. Let's say you bought a Tesla and you paid for the charger at your house. And now your electricity bill is not massive, but it's super convenient and great. But then to offset all of the convenience, the government institutes a tax on it per mile. You're going to say, well, it's not worth having. I'd rather have a hybrid gas-sipping Honda Accord. I'm blown away that more people are buying hybrid Camrys and hybrid Honda Accords as opposed to Model 3s and Model S's and Model Ys. It kills me. In this complex right here, right? Because, apparently people say I'm poor. There are like Teslas. There's a Bugatti here. It's hilarious. There's a green Bugatti over there. Ask that laid out 5.0 kid. He has a Stance Mustang. There's a green Bugatti over on his side. New. So you see 4 or 5 Honda Accord hybrids. Really nice looking cars. They actually kind of look like the Mustang, the front end. I also see Camry hybrids, if I'm not mistaken. And I start seeing Toyota hybrid SUVs. And I go, well, that's the solution. 40 miles a gallon plug-in hybrids or just regular hybrids that charge while the car is running. And that thing will last you forever as long as the battery isn't too expensive to replace. You can drive up to, I don't know why, I think it's like 15 miles or 20 miles on the battery alone. And then it kicks over, it charges with the motor, and it's, you could either plug it in or let it charge off of the regenerative braking or whatever technology they have to charge the battery while you're driving. Now they're all of a sudden saying, well, hybrid's the future. Oh, no shit. No shit. What I've been talking about, hybrid being better off than full EV stuff. Why? The technology is not there yet. It's plain and simple. If you cannot, we're Americans. We don't like waiting around for shit. If you cannot recharge in less than 15 minutes from 0 all the way to 100%, just like you can do a gas tank, there is no incentive to buy an EV. But the problem is if you understand how electricity works and how much ridiculous the amount of electricity you need to be able to power multiple stations in many locations for basically commuters or people that drive across country, they have to have all these superchargers everywhere. That means you're going to have like 50 new nuclear power plants open up, 70, 80, 100 new gas-fired power plants open up to supply enough electricity to give the capacity to have an EV charge in 10, 15 minutes, which is impossible because we don't have the technology yet. Solid state batteries aren't a thing. These new batteries that Ferrari or Toyota or whoever the fuck Volkswagen was talking about, they're not going to be around till 10 years. So the technology is not there yet. So you have to have a bridge. And the bridge is hybrid. And then what's going to happen? They're going to refine hybrid so well. People are going to go, you know what's crazy? Now, the greenhouse gases are a lot less. The cost, because the infrastructure is already there, the car is its own little power plant charging the battery. And people are like, don't commute 100 miles a day. People at most commute 30 to 50 miles a day on average. One day, about 10 years from now, people are going to go, we don't need full EV. Full EV is kind of a waste of time. It's a big old stupid fucking battery when a hybrid is hybrid is, let's just say, more convenient and efficient, and we've met our, air quality goals. Everything's honky-dory. So I guarantee in about 5 years, they're going to ramp up hybrid stuff hardcore. And all of a sudden they're going to find out, shit, this is something we should look into further on the performance side of things. They're already doing it in the hypercars and the supercars. Look at the E-rate. I love the E-rate only because I called that shit 5 years ago. I said, why doesn't Ford have a 3.5 EcoBoost electric hybrid all-wheel drive Mustang that runs 10s right off the rip? And Corvette goes, oh, we could do that. Boom, did it. A 1070 E-Rate you can drive in the snow because it's all-wheel drive. You can drive in quiet mode for about, 5 to 10 miles if on just the electric motor itself. And I'm like, Chevy did it. So once it bleeds down and it becomes a little more cost effective to have hybrid and use the hybrid in a performance variant, and you have everything in one package, all-wheel drive, efficiency, torque, power, everything in one package, people are going to look at EVs and go, they're cool, they're fast, but they're dead, they're soulless. And I like a driving experience as opposed to this dead driving quiet thing all over the place. Why do you think that all these manufacturers are heavily investing back into ICE? Because they know something we don't. They see something we don't. They forecast out years in advance. You got to understand, these guys have to they have to report to people that are big money motherfuckers in the background that you never heard of. Investors in boardroom meetings, and they're like, what is our 10-year plan? Because I want to buy Jeff Bezos' yacht. And guess what? Y'all better have a plan so my return on investment is this percent, so I can count on the fact that I can afford that yacht or whatever investment I want to get into. What is your plan? So they have people that literally line out the plan and say, this is what we project, this is what we see. Obviously, it failed big time with EV, to the point where they were like, throw $1 billion at ICE and see what happens. Forecast it out. Let us see what the deal is. Put it on focus groups. Fuck with hybrid stuff and see how all that goes. I think that's what happened. I'm not on the inside track of anything, but I'm happy at least these manufacturers. And Ford is not going to say it because they're going to have egg on their face because they put their whole nuts in the EV game hardcore. Ford F-150 Lightning, the Mustang, desecrating the Mustang name with the Mustang Mach-E, and I'm sure they have a couple of hybrids. But I'm telling you, they should just stick with what they have, not add to it. Heavily invest in gasoline and hybrid. Keep the EV shit the way it is. Let it die or live and die on its own. Make the same model, put it out there, don't add any more to the catalog, and let it live and die on its own. And if there's a demand, make more. If the demand falls out, flattens out, and bottoms out, the consumer will tell you what to make. Let's talk about it. Get your questions, comments, and concerns. We'll hang out here for a little bit. Daily your V8s while you can, says EZR. Yes, I agree that hybrids would have been a better outcome than trying to push full electric. Well, talking to Tim, it says, I've said it before, EVs need infrastructure. We're not there yet. Electrical companies actually have to cut back power to avoid blackouts. I think a hybrid Coyote would have been badass. The E-Rate, to me, the E-Rate, maybe people don't like it because it's in a C8 body. Just think about the technology. What other platform for high 5 figures, low 6 figures, $100,000 can you get into that runs 10s now on the street, all-wheel drive, hybrid, DCT? You're talking Porsche stuff. You're talking high-end supercar stuff. And I'm not a Corvette fanboy because I own a ZR1, but I recognize that if there is any manufacturer out there that competed with the big boys while having the most value possible, was GM and the Corvette. The Corvette punched way above its weight class. And when they actually put it up against supercars in certain racing configurations, road racing stuff, it actually dominated and did pretty well. That's why Carroll Shelby, his comparison was, well, I was blowing Corvettes off in the weeds. So Corvette was the standard bearer. When Cobras started running the show and Camaros died, they were aiming at Corvettes. Why were they aiming at Corvettes? Because it was the standard. It was like the car, the American car to go up against and beat. Back then, Z06s, not much ZR1s, but Z06s mainly, and Grand Sports and Built LS3 deals were actually running pretty fucking decent, and Mustangs and Cobras were keeping up with it, so they were punching above their weight class. But I said a Coyote or a 3.5 big V6 hybrid situation, the car is going to be heavy because the current technology does not allow really lightweight parts to convert a car like that to be all-wheel drive. The E-Ray did it, dude. I'm like, there it is. Like, I would consider the E-Ray if in about 2 years they refine it in such a way that it has maybe 700 horsepower, runs like a 1050, and you're like a 2650 blower away and ethanol from running 9s on the street with a nice little C8 platform. I'll keep daily driving my 9 mile per gallon 4-valve Power Boost Mustang. Yo, I made it this time, says DeMarcus Dinkins. Chevy listens to Alex. They removed the assignment song too. Did they? Did they? I'm blown away that everything I say, Chevy tends to do, and I don't understand why. Michael Burke says, I don't mind hybrid. It's the best of both worlds in one package. Brandon Horton says, so funny, the governor of Virginia is turning his back on California's vehicle emissions thing. The whole EV push slowed down here a lot. And Brandon B. in the Patreon chat says, I have no range anxiety. I don't have range anxiety with any gas vehicle. Slow99 says, I find that ironic that in California, they push people to purchase a $60,000 car to be green, but then when too many people do it, they try to implement the tax for more money. The yacht with the big diesel engine thing. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of funny. And look, there's replies here. Exactly. Look at that. There's nice little replies on the situation here. So the other thing is that EV does not live unless it has a government incentive, meaning tax breaks. So this guy that I listen to once in a while, his name is, he goes by the Electric Viking, an Australian fella, big blonde dude. He loves EV, hates ICE. So he's a fanboy. So he's like, well, with government incentives, EVs aren't that expensive. Right, with government incentives. And then he said something that blew my mind. He goes, American car companies have been subsidized by the government for a very long time. GM. Let's hold your horses. They loaned out money to Ford. They bailed out GM. Let's just get that shit straight. Santana says, Ryan, point me to the live where he talked about it. I don't always have time to join the lives. Okay. Mr. Prime says, in your opinion, what would the aftermarket EcoBoost game be like if Ford were to make an all-wheel drive EcoBoost hybrid Mustang? I'm not familiar with the EcoBoost platform. So the EcoBoost platform in the F-150, the 3.5 liter Gen 2 direct injected and port injected, just like the new Coyote Gen 3. But the problem is this, guys. You got to understand. The direct injection, while fuckboy tuners think it's great, it's trash how Ford configures it. The DI in Hyundai cars, Chevy cars that are designed, the whole engine and the whole platform is designed around direct injection. Works very well. It's extremely efficient. They did a very good job. Ford has an afterthought in terms of direct injection. It blends between the port and the direct. And how many failures have I seen on the direct injectors? A shit ton, guys. Guys, an insane amount of direct injection failure where one bank is richer than the other on a bone stock car. I'm like, boroscope your shit, see if the injectors are leaking, key on, engine off, boom, there they are. Key on, engine off, they're dripping into the bore and then just causing a rich condition and you have no control. But let's just say they had a very robust direct injection system. Hell, let's say Ford took an EcoBoost platform, put a big injector on it like a long body 55 from a GT500, shoved a decent amount of boost in it, made it low compression enough, let's say low 10 to 1, 10 to 1, 10 to whatever, 10 to 3, right? Not 11, not 12, 10 or high 9s. So you can throw 15 pounds of boost at it, make about, 500 rear wheel horsepower on pump gas because it's so low compression. Then you can upgrade the injector, throw a bunch more boost at it. Now you have E85 EcoBoost, good rod and piston situation in there, and you could probably make 600. Then you attach a hybrid drive system to a Mustang. All-wheel drive, 3.5, boosted, forget direct injection. The problem would be emissions. The problem would be price because everything's expensive. So what would that Mustang cost? Oh, look at the E-Ray. He's $100,000. They got to make money. So how much would a hybrid all-wheel drive 3.5 boosted, forget EcoBoost with the direct injection, boosted, port injected, 3.5 motor cost Ford to make and how much would they have to sell it for? Probably $75,000. Look at their GTD. Now, the GTD is not built by Ford. So please stop saying it's a Ford GTD. It's a Ford just like the Ford GT is a Ford. It's a Multimatic race car built vehicle. It's like saying the Cobra Jet was built by Ford. No, it's built by Watson Racing. Watson Racing gets body in white cars. They put their shit on it, their cages, their bullshit, and boom. Same thing with the road race cars. They get a bunch of body in white cars. They put their roll race shit in it, send it out without a VIN, and they go racing in it. But let's be honest, that's not a Ford vehicle. Okay, none of those cars are Ford vehicles. So the GTD, for them to have a Billy badass, insane racing suspension, the ugliest wide body kit I've probably ever seen in a Mustang because it looks incomplete, but highly advanced in terms of handling and all this shit. That motherfucker is $300,000. Well, it's only making 20 of them. Well, 200 of them. Well, yeah, there's a reason. They'll all will sell. I get that. But it's Multimatic. And I think they're limiting the production run because of the amount of cars that Multimatic can probably churn out. They can't chunk out 200 race cars a month. It has to be like a finite run. Same with the Ford GT. So I don't see that as a good example. But in order to make a 3.5, 600 horsepower with a 200 horsepower motor and 800 horsepower all-wheel drive S650 Eco Splat hybrid all-wheel drive shit, it's gonna be fucking $100,000. And the Corvette's a good example about that. We got on Patreon. I wish I could just highlight the Patreon stuff, but I can't. Michael Burke says the yacht with the big old diesel engines, right? Think the government keeps up their ridiculous emissions crap and we get the GPFs and they will have as many problems as the DPFs do. Brandon Horton, absolutely. I think the GPF is going to be an issue. The gasoline particulate filter, which is already in the UK, is going to be an issue. And I can guarantee that there's going to be a gasoline particulate filter making its way to US cars as a test run. And you're going to see people lose their freaking mind when they try to delete it and the car doesn't run. Right now, Ford is letting you delete the cats on the Mustang. Y'all stupid enough to put it on the internet, so I'll just mention it. You guys are stupid enough to delete the cat. Okay, car runs good, runs a number, Whipple sells a tune on it, somehow doesn't have a check engine light, and it runs a number. Cool. When the gasoline particulate filter shows up, it's over. It's over.
It's over, Johnny.
It's over.
It's over.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off!
Now, you cannot delete the gasoline particulate filter. It is a massive restriction. It all of a sudden loses a bunch of power. You're going to see a Mustang one of these days when the GPF becomes pretty available here. Horsepower figures go down. Since the onset of the Gen 3 Mustang, horsepower has crept up every new model year. 460, 470, 480, 495, 500 with the Dark Horse. And then the gasoline particulate filter comes out and you're going to be with a 450 horsepower Mustang. You go, whoa, what the fuck just happened? Well, 450 horsepower Mustang. So now companies are going to have to make what the EPA literally calls defeat devices. If, in theory, a gasoline particulate filter comes down the pipeline, Mustang exhaust manufacturers are going to find a way to fool the computer to make it think it still has a GPF installed while freeing up horsepower without a GPF actually installed. And that is literally what the EPA has put people in jail for and fined them millions of dollars for. The device that removes a particulate filter, you put something in there to fool it or you tune it away, and vaya con Dios, you're in jail getting butt-fucked by Diddy, or sounds like this are coming out of Cell Block 1. Oh, what'd you do? Well, I put a GPF delete kit in my Mustang. Really? Well, pick up the soap, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. How's that feel? How's that GPF delete feel right now, huh? How's this was it worth it? Was it worth GPF deleting? Oh, come on. Bubba likes. What are you in here for? I took out the muffler on the Mustang. Fucking, it's stupid. It's so stupid. The amount of video submissions of people sucking Ford off for the chance to get one is cringe. Did you not see my video when I submitted my video so that Ford could consider me to sell me like I was able to afford it. Like as if I was able to afford that motherfucker. You know, like I'm blown away people didn't see that one. Yeah, look at that. Brandon B. Boom. That's what I like about this chat. You can put up pictures. Gasoline particulate filter. Nautilus. Look, thank you, Brandon B, for posting that in the Patreon chat. All you have to do is Google gasoline particulate filter. They're coming. The 2024 Nautilus. You're going to start seeing it in many vehicles. And once it makes its way into Mustang, it's over. So get your jollies in now. It's going to be a problem. Damn, for a second, I thought the caption said GM, VW, and Toyota invested in immigration customs enforcement. Wow. How the hell did you read that? Bootlegger says, that's what I figured, Elver. My SS shares a lot of parts from the 5th gen Camaro and CTS V2, the door handles. Okay. Rizzy says, in the diesel world, if you tune it in the ECU, it will void the warranty. It'll leave a footprint in the ECU, and you can see that it has been tampered with. I'm sure it'll be the case for gas as well. It's already there. There's already like a counter. Some of you that work in the automotive field, what is it that you see on modern vehicles that you know it's been flashed with an aftermarket tune? There's like an internal counter in the PCMs that you can see when it's been tampered with. So it's up to the dealer's discretion because, let's be honest, the dealers make money off of warranty work. They submit it to Ford. Ford pays them out. So it's up to their discretion whether they're going to cover the car or not. You know, if you got a good relationship with a service manager at your dealership, he'll replace your engine because you were doing trompeta intakes and, methanol tuning like a dumbass. But if there is a way of monitoring when you flashed the vehicle, it's up to them to be like, bro, it's junk. So I think on Mustangs, this is a test run. The 24 Mustang, aren't you blown away that the computer hasn't been cracked yet? I mean, I know HP Tuners is busy indexing 2 valves. Not like a USB stick flew out of the sky and all of a sudden they're indexing 2 valves. Interesting story there, but I will not get into that. 2 valves! That's what we're doing now. 2 valves. Oh my God. HP Tuners has 2 valve support. The what do you call it? The demand for that was -0. But what the fuck do I know, right? So why hasn't HP Tuners SCT the most irrelevant, they're just irrelevant now. Why haven't they been able to flash a 24 Mustang? They have the tune, they were able to index the tune, but they don't have the ability to flash the vehicle. Well, it's just Ford's making it more difficult. So if and when something falls off of a pallet, right? Imagine something falls off of a pallet and 24 Mustangs become tunable. The next run of PCMs is going to be even more difficult. Look at 24 F-150. What changed between 21, 22, 23, and 24 F-150s mechanically? Nothing. But in 24, you can't tune the F-150 either. So you're going to wait another 2 years to tune that when there's a 21 available right now. See, you can break up the Gen 3 to 2 or potentially 3 different generations because we're in the middle of the second generation, the B side of Gen 3. Gen 3 A side was 2018. 2018 to 2020. Oh, I can't talk to you right now. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I can't talk to her right now. It's too bad. Nice girl, but I can't talk to her right now. The 18 to 20 was, let's say, the A generation of Gen 3. 21 to 23 is the B generation. Let me make sure they know that I'm not, whatever. On live. I'll call you later. So 21 to 23 is the B generation. So you have to tune it differently. Then the 24, it's still a Gen 3. They can call it a Gen 4 all they want, but it's the same. So now that's going to be the B, because F-150 is the same. 18 to 20, A, 21 to 23, B, 24, its own thing. And now you're like, wait a minute. Gen 3 just gave you 3 different computers Hell, I remember when I bought my 2018 Mustang, I was not able to tune a 2019 Mustang with a 2018 tune. It wasn't able to cross flash. You can go backwards, but I don't think you could go forward, or one or the other. So I'm like, wait a minute, is there 4 different PCM types on a similar infrastructure? Yes. Like, yes. So what happens when a GPF becomes available? You think they're going to say, oh, we're going to make it super easy for you to tune. Fuck no. So imagine you guys, he said, get her on chat live. She wouldn't dare. They wouldn't even try to make it tunable. So they got to get their jollies off now. So I think 24 Mustang, once it becomes tunable, does that mean 25 is tunable? Or is 25 different just like 18, 19 was? And this is all government. This is all government shit. So, oh good, sorry. The government mandated it for what reason? Global warming. Like, it's the dumbest fucking thing. Global warming, a theory, a hypothesis. No, Alex, it's real. Really? Go look up a map of a picture of a beach anywhere, like in the 40s or 50s. And go to that same goddamn beach on the same time of day, same month, same fucking day, and take a picture of that beach. Did the sea level rise at all? No. Shut the fuck up. I'm old enough to remember when they were scaring you about global cooling. I'm old enough to remember that then they started saying global warming, and now it's climate change. Stupidest fucking thing ever. Anthony says, it's KC526. Definitely not her. I'm still owed puss by homegirl. She owes me culo because the amount of time I invested into that, I'm like, and I didn't get no culo. Get the fuck out of here. Moises Alcala says, I think with the tightening emissions requirements, people will eventually make their way to power sports to have legal, affordable fun. Well, define legal, affordable fun. Power sports. Side-by-sides. Side-by-sides are regulated by noise, and you can't ride it on certain trails. Eventually, they're going to regulate the shit out of those. The only things that seem to not be regulated all that much, believe it or not, is boat stuff. And I don't understand why. Like, why is boat stuff not regulated that much? You can get away with murder on a boat. Like, you can get away with whatever the fuck you want to do on a boat or a jet ski. I've seen guys have 500 horsepower or more turbo jet skis. And I'm like, okay. But side by side, you got to go to Mud Butt 38 and get herpes just to have a little fun in a little private park situation. Each PCM update is tracking hardware World War II beaches. 18 and 19 is different with the Auto 2. Just thought you was able to downshift rev matching with the manual. It's different in terms of cross flash ability. I'm not saying you can't cross flash certain strategies. I think the manual, for example, when I bought my 2018, Lund tuned it. We tuned it. I'm Lund, whatever. Then I bought a 19 because that thing got lemon lawed because it broke 3 pieces in fucking 2 months and it was shit. They bought it back. I got into a 19. He said, hey, try to throw this tune on it. It didn't even start. And it was because the travel switch. So the 2018s have a switch that tells you when the clutch is depressed. The 2019s have, I believe, 2 sensors when the clutch is up and down for the downshift rev matching. Because now that 19 transmission had a sensor on it to let the PCM know the gear position to rev match depending on clutch depressed or not. So that the hardware configuration of the clutch switches and the transmission sensor did not allow or made it difficult to cross flash a 2018 and 19 or vice versa. Back here says the top climate scientists warning that climate change will wipe out all of humanity unless we stop using fossil fuels. June 21. Look at that, Michael Burke. I love you, Mike. See, this is the nice thing about Patreon chat. You can absolutely put up pictures. Greta Thunberg in 2018 said this, and we are now in 2024. Nothing has happened. The water didn't rise on a particular day in 1940s, but the death count of bodies did rise on a particular day in the 1940s, and that wasn't due to warming either. You're right. That's what that That's what that one guy with a twin turbo Coyote boat. What? Oh, okay. That's the problem with this chat. It can get a little weird. So I'm probably not going to reference it too much because it becomes like Instagram in there. So I'm not going to reference that chat that much. Oh, shit. Guys, you want to get in there? It's a good time. Gen 2, at what RPM do you recommend upgrading valve springs? Austin, it's not about RPM. I think it's about, what's the case use? The cams run out of steam at 7,400 RPMs, meaning you're not going to make more power the more you rev it. Even if you have a Cobra Jet intake, it'll tend to curl off. So then you're going to have to get an aftermarket cam. Comp stage 3. If it's a Gen 3, you get a 433, 430. Stage 2, you get to get that boosted nitrous or turbo. It does not matter. So can the springs hold up to the added lift that the cam profile has and the RPM? I've seen Gen 3 cars rev to 8,300 RPM without any valve flow, naturally aspirated. Boosted, especially turbo, I think you should just upgrade them right away. Greta is stupid. Yeah, no shit. Government is pissed about the power as side-by-sides make now, and the weight they're getting up there too. They run the trails. Eco warriors are getting pissed. I thought a good idea to have some fun and blow off some steam was to get an e-bike, like a Saran or a E-Ride Pro SS. I was looking into them, and I'm like, oh, E-Ride Pro SS is like $5,000. I go on some trails. I could ride it on the streets shortly and then go on some trails and fuck around. But now they're a nuisance. Now it's been co-opted by douchebags that do wheelies in the middle of the street and do like e-bike takeovers. Yes, every new hobby with a motor, whether it's electric or gas, is ruined by assholes. Like, takeovers are fucking gay. And takeovers aren't really run by people that know anything about cars. Bikers or e-ride, e-bikes, which I think are great. They're quiet, they're cool, they're capable, they got torque, and they have a long range. It'd be cool in theory, but now they're a nuisance. Now, if you have an e-bike on a trail, they call the cops on you. There's a bunch of horse trails around here. So if you have a nice quiet bike and you go around these trails, they fucking call the cops on you. And I'm like, bro, like, no motorsport, whether it's electric or powered or gas, is worth fucking with anymore. Like when I get my ZR1 back, I'm just gonna cruise the streets, go to Cars and Coffee, do gay shit, and then the other cars are gonna be at a drag race track 2 or 3 times a year. A complete waste of time. But again, I do it for content. What VCT issues should I look into for a mostly stock Gen 3? So the VCT, Nick, is depending on some Gen 3s. They can have a loss of phase control. What that means is the cam is commanding, the computer's commanding the cams to be at a certain spot at idle, depending on what the tune calls out. Let's just say it's negative 30 and 0. So negative 30, the cam's advance, and exhaust is at 0. Well, all of a sudden, I'm sorry, 30? Is it negative 30 or is it 30? I think it's 30. All of a sudden, intermittently, at idle, you will see the cam lose phasing. You see the cam, if you put it on the graph, just goes down to 0. Then it comes back up. And then the car sounds like it's chopping. Then it comes back. So it does this undulating thing. The tune is not commanding it. And the VCT schedule says, it's for idle, but it loses phasing. There is no smoking gun fix to that. Austin Maynard actually did the vetting on that. Austin Maynard went out of his way to do everything Ford asked him to do. And he concluded that it's a hardware or software issue. Who knows? But it is not anything done by the tune. My 2018 Mustang did not have a tune in it for many months. It did its stock. My 2019 in it did not have a tune for many months. It did its stock. Nothing really fixed it. Won't find takeover mentality on road course or a sport bike. No traffic either. Next thing we know, they're going to go have horse takeovers. Won't find a takeover mentality at the motocross track. No kidding, Alex. As Instagram has ruined everything on cars, meets, bikes, racing, etc. Savage Lentega says, Alex, would you rather drive a 2-valve or a PT Cruiser? PT Cruiser all fucking day. 2-valve? My first long-term girlfriend, Kathy, Great girl. Awesome girl. She owned a 2-valve. Reliable. Sounded good. Drove okay. It drove like a modern Fox body back in, late 2019 or 2018. I'm sorry, 2008, 2009. She had a 04, and it was a piece of shit. But it was not a bad car. So I'm not going to say it's a bad car. If you want a driver stick shift, 260 horsepower, sure. But God damn it. In the modern world, you get beat by every single sedan made today. Every Honda Accord, every Altima, every Camry, every minivan. Don't race a minivan. Don't race a Honda Odyssey. You'll get fucked up. Get the E-Ride Pro SS. You'll enjoy the fuck out of it. I know, and I think it looks great. But at the end of the day, I have to be like, look, I don't need people, man. I'll get on the E-Ride Pro, 72 volt battery, 40 amp hours or 30, 40 amp, and just go 70 miles an hour, find a trail, have some fun. There's a ton of trails here. They're flat, but you can get lost in it, have a bunch of fun, no noise. I don't fuck with anybody. I don't bother anybody, and I'm not going to mod the thing. I'm just going to enjoy it. It's $5,000. I'm like, should I get a motorcycle and fuck around just for fun? Because the ZR1's fun, but it's, it's a ZR1. It's a car. Something about riding a bike that just kind of like makes you feel good. Chuck Wazarinsky says the actuator gets scored internally and will just not move. Hey, Alex. It did it for me too, says JD Swag. Same thing as you showed in the video. The phasers and tensioners got replaced and it went away. Waited for Alex to pick up a CTSV to have chopping next to his ZR1. Yeah, the ZR1 with excessive blow-by. I've been having the most fun, says BJ Kafasi, getting into road racing and away from the drag street drama stuff, as Alex suggested a while back. You got to understand, that's actually something I'm looking into, but, I don't know. I just want to go to a track, be left alone, and learn, of course, take classes, learn, get an instructor, all that stuff. But then just leave me alone. I'll have a car that's medium power, that it's not really going to eat itself, and try to just do personal bests at the track, just like I would do with a drag car. I'm just going to go to test and tune, drag race it on a rental, not a public test and tune with street car nights or whatever. No, and just have fun that way. That's fulfilling to me. ADHD says, how's the GT500? It's sitting there. So I have to order comp cam stage 3s, and I have to order the phasers. I ordered today the phaser cam chain guide and kit from Ford Performance so that I can put VCT back in the car. The illuminator I have has locked VCT, stock locked VCT, which is so stupid. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to video that. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Then I'm going to just replace it with the phasers. I'm not going to show you how to time the system because there's many videos online and I have to learn how to do it. Let's be honest, I've never done it. So I have to sit there and do it myself. And if I fuck up, I'll show that I fucked up. I don't care. It's good content to replace the locked cams with VCT. But since I'm in there, I probably should get comp cam stage 3s, NAs, Gen 1s, because a low compression illuminator at high boost is going to need all the help it can get to pass that air through the engine. The stock cams are going to be the issue. It's going to have a high boost number because of restriction, not a good number because it's passing the air through the car. So I'm going to get comp cam stage 3s. I'm going to get probably a Whipple 3.0 boost ported front feed for it. Talk to Senior about that. Billy Badass X rotors and ported by Kong and all this stuff, and try to shove about 20 to 25 pounds of boost in it right off the rip and see if it makes 1100. And if it makes that, see if it can go to the track and run an 8. Get a motorcycle. I'd love to get a motorcycle, but then you got to get a license and you got no thanks. When talking about possibilities, it's possible I saw Neil Armstrong land on the moon. Don't know what the fuck that means. If you want to go to a track and be left alone, then get into road racing all day. Really, though? Will they leave you alone? I'm not sure if they'll leave you alone. Why did the Patreon link just drop off? Okay, I just want to make sure that no craziness is going on here. Electric. I love the fact that you can post links on the Patreon chat. Electric scooters overtake Audis as the vehicle of choice for utter pricks. Oh, that's good stuff. That's for Utter Producer 7 Speed interview ever kickoffs. No, Boxy Luxury, we're having trouble getting together. So he's in Texas. I can only do an interview at 8 a.m. my time Saturday, which is 7 a.m. his time. If I start the interview at 9, then that means it's going to go till 10 and my day is fucked. Because in that garage, after noon, it's too hot. It's too hot to work in it. So I have just the morning. So they're like, well, why don't you do the interview later? But he's probably busy doing stuff. So 337 Speed and I have not been able to get together on anything there. So we're going to have to try to get together because I like the dude and I'm interested in his story. But we just haven't gotten together and it's really difficult. That's why it's almost better to do it real late at night. But then it fucks me up for the next. Guys, I love you. I have a full-time job. How tired are you after your full-time job? Right? Let's say you have a set, 9 to 5. Do you want to go home and work another 5 hours? Probably not. Let's say you work 9 to 5, then you go to the gym. Do you still want to work 5 hours after that? That's what it would have. That's what it would have to take for me to get what I need to get done during the week. The problem is this: I leave a lot of stuff to the weekend, especially the wrenching on the cars. The wrenching on the cars happens only on the weekends, and it happens on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And that's the only time other people are available to interview. So that makes it extremely difficult because I have to be fresh for the next day. I've had nights, guys, that I didn't get any sleep because I drank Coca-Cola too late or something. And then I just stay up and I see the clock go 1, 2, 3. I'm like, oh no, the clock. Have you ever had those nights where you're staring the clock down and that son of a bitch starts saying 4:30, 4:45? You're like, I got to get up in an hour. And then you fall asleep. And then you get up and your eyes are heavy and you're just... If that happens to me the next day for tuning, I am so fucked. Because you understand, all I do all day is deal with numbers. Order numbers, serial numbers, engine, model year vehicle numbers, VIN numbers, serial ID numbers, LRX numbers. So if I am not tip-top shape, I will literally export files to the wrong serial, to the wrong VIN, to the wrong... And I still fuck up. I apparently I'm dyslexic. I move numbers left to right and I fuck things up, but they catch it, which is cool. Ryu Hayabusa says, learning to ride a motorcycle was the most fun thing I've ever experienced. Just too dangerous to ride through all the accidents I've seen in the ER. I agree. Yes, road racing, way better community and actually want everyone to do well. 175 degree in the garage during the day, ain't it? It's at least 95 in the garage. I think road racing for me is, I win, you pay me. You win, I make an excuse, I don't pay. Zachary Lopez says, I go to road racing events. People tend to leave you be unless they know you on a personal level. I'm going to have to get into that, Zachary. It seems enticing. And the ZR1's going to have to be the car, right? Like, guys, is the ZR1 going to have to be that car? Or is that too inexpensive of a car to road race? Because I'm going to fuck it up, probably. Who knows? The driver mod said, I went out on a local course and track in Florida and had my own personal private events. Good community of people. They're all there to do the same thing. No one trips over each other. Great time. Driver mod, I'm going to have to get into it because I do like it. It's already a fucking drag to do cardio and a full workout after work. By the time I eat dinner and shower, it's night time. So, I worked a 9 to 5, right? 7 to 4:30. Go to the gym. Walk Tony 3 times a day. Then I have to start getting ready for this live stream. So that means at 6:45 when I'm sort of settled, I then do research and I read articles and I just do show prep. And then after the show is done, guys, in about 10 minutes, I take the link, I download the show, I make clips, I listen back to it before I go to bed. I make the AI generate the episode so you can see it in a cut up fashion on your end. And then I export it to MP3 so I can put it up on the podcast. Then I go to sleep. Like, come on. It's a lot of work. So for a lot of people that think I'm just a YouTuber, I guarantee the people that say I don't know what the fuck I'm doing and that I'm full of shit, if they just had to do what I do for YouTube, they couldn't hack it. They could not hack it. Wouldn't IETs for the ZR1 be an issue road racing? I'd have to lower boost to like nothing. Look at the booming popularity of the 4x4 F-150s. Can't believe Ford doesn't see that and make an all-wheel drive 5-liter Mustang. Well, they already have it. Terminator. They're like, why make it if the F-150 is already it? Update with Jeremiah Camp's 2011 GT. It's summer. Nobody is racing their cars. Understand. Everywhere else, everyone's racing their cars. In Florida, they're in the garage. It's too hot. Single overhead cam foot says, my ghost cam chops like a motherfucker when it's cold, but when the engine gets hot, it's less chop. What's the technical explanation for this? Love the tune, by the way. So when the car is warming up, It's on purpose rich. And you have negative spark so that the car can warm up quicker and reduce the emissions. When the car warms up, you have proper spark and proper fueling, and everything is smoother. Easy peasy. 01 will be both fun and scary on the track. You really don't have any other cars that you could do it as good as. You really don't have any other car that could do it and be as good as the ZR1. I agree. Because I have it, right? I have the ZR1. There it is. So I could say, okay, be a homo roll racer like everyone else, or go out there and do what it was intended to do and actually turn, stop, and race it. But the problem is this. I don't know if I'm going to keep that car forever. So the moment I road race that ZR1, I'm keeping that car forever because the next guy's going to go, well, I don't want a car that was ragged out during road racing. But boy, wouldn't that be cool? Rami probably hates me because I haven't sent the blower back in like a year. But I have the other blower still, unported, which does cause higher IATs. So I could take my current blower that's ported, put a big pulley, big stupid pulley on it, bring boost to like 12 or 13, and it might do okay at the track. Bledsoe was telling me to send him the flex fuel sensor that he sent me. He was, we'll tune it up here. But then we found out that it has excessive blow-by based on a leak down test. So I'm like, it's not even worth tuning on the 85 if it has, 50%, leak down failure on cylinder number 8. Could be cylinder head related or ring related. Who knows? But it doesn't smoke on acceleration. It smokes on decel, which makes me think it's valve train related. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that. Road racing, you're left alone. Your ZR1 is perfect for it. It's plenty of platform that you could do. Talk me people. They tend to be nice. Not like the chicken strip shit and drag racers. Okay, so let's talk about that. I don't want JDILSA. I'm not doing a 20-minute session. Are you psycho? Yeah, it's true. He's so gonna be bad unless you want to go out for a few minutes. Yeah, I'll probably do like 2 or 3 laps. I would do just 2 hot laps. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to do sessions in the thing. If you road race it, the paint will get destroyed. Yeah, it's not great now. Elverga Larga says the ZR1 is too nice for a track car. Gen 1 would have been a good option even though it's auto, but your plan for it is a better option. Just get a 2-valve. You're not wrong. Didn't meet all like-minded mature people until I started road race track events. Everyone from the Honda V8 guys got it. Valve seals. Yeah, it sounds like valve seals. But would that fail a leak down test? Probably. I'd have to talk to Bledsoe tomorrow. He's too busy. New here. Been learning a lot. Thanks. Thank you, Joseph Ramon. Perfect time for a C5 road racing. You've been talking about it. Yes, I would do that. I would buy a C5 and road race that. But I'd have to get rid of a vehicle. So I can't buy a C5 until I go 9-1 in Donnie and then sell Donnie. Actually, whatever New York does gets filtered down to other states. Okay, hit live on your shit, please. The Drive Mod says I have connections that'll rent out a car, provide instructions and insurance all in one day. Just arrive and drive, not to have to worry about messing up your own car, wear and tear. Bro, that's great. I would absolutely rent a car out. Like a nice modern car that I could just fucks with. Driver Mod, email me at ydbtforlife@gmail.com. Let's get some of the Patreon guys in here because they're paying members. They pay $15 a month. Why the hell not? Someone's talking about tuners. What's happening? Outrunning the Beach Patrol quads. What's happening here? We have specific beaches for that. They have 10,000 watt electric bike for that. Which tuner is recommended for 21 GT? Going to have Lund do the tuning. Which tuner is recommended for 21 GT? Going to have Lund do the tuning. David Pazal, the LRX. Just get the LRX. Don't fuck around. I mean, look, Lund Racing. Let me see. Lund Racing. Oh, shit. Lund Racing LRX. Yeah, look at that. So you go to Lund Racing, lundracing.com, just type in Lund Racing LRX, and this is with a tune. So meaning tune and device. So that's what you pay for tune and device. And I think you get a discount on it, and you just fill this out. So if you have a 21, you choose your make, Ford, Mustang, submodel. So a GT Mach 1, let's say you have a GT. If you have a 10R80, put your VIN number there. You have the LRX, and then the tuning device serial number will provide, and you have a performance pack or non-performance pack. You choose your gears. You got to know what gears you have. You have your stock intake manifold. If you do, is it locked out? You have your choices of cold air right here. Boom. stock injectors, and so to just fill this out, hit buy, it generates a tune order, and bada bing, bada boom, we got you. All of a sudden, it goes to Nardi. Nardi ensures that everything is good, or Devin, and we're good to go. Most events run multiple 15, 20-minute groups throughout the day. 100% road racing is one. Road racing, no one cares or hates on what car you drive, nor if you're fast. My experience, everyone either lets you run alone or talk or what's best, give tips. Sebring is awesome. I do like Sebring. I've never run Sebring. I would like to try out Sebring. Guys, I'll get into it. If I can rent a car, okay, can I go to a road race track, rent a car, be insured, have a bunch of fun for less than $700? Yes or no? Yes or no? Fox Body John says, I appreciate these lives. I've learned a lot. Thank you. I've been learning how to tune my Turbo 331 Fox Body, and it's going smooth so far. Why do the price on American Muscle and Lund's prices vary so much? On AM, it's like $1,500. Then you're clicking the wrong thing. What I showed you, Nick, is an NA tune with a device. But let's say you do a Coyote swap. Let's price it out. Tuning services, let's say, okay, Coyote swap. Okay, let's say you have a Coyote swap. Let's go in here. Let's navigate the Lund Racing site for you dum-dums. So Coyote swap. Click it. Remote trackside support. That's if you want us to be live with you, which you'll never get. So a Gen 1 Coyote, this is just the tune. I don't think this is the device included. So if you need a device, this is just a tune. Why do we charge $825 for that? Because it's the combination usually is super fucked. It requires multiple logging sessions. It's usually a very exotic file. For example, 18 F-150 motor, but using a Gen 1 control, a Gen 3 Mustang control pack. Firing order changes, high pressure fuel pump changes. You then have to put a MAF on it. So now your F-150 motor has to have a MAF. So the tune file is pretty fucking exotic. So you do that, and then you add a device, and the device is another, I don't know what, $400. So you're looking at about $1,200 for a Coyote swap tune. So the prices can vary if you include E85, if you include a fuel system, if it's a boosted tune. Many things can change the price. Somebody said use Ken's personal. Oh, Gerardo. So if it's a bad valve, it would fail a leak down test. Then maybe I need new heads. Who knows? Road course racing is where it's at. Drag racing, whoever has the biggest pocket wins. Road racing is $200,000 cars all day in my 15 BMW. Wow, that's a good looking website and not half-assed. No, the Lunds spent stupid money on that website. I'm not going to tell you how much. It's a fuck ton of money. Hell no. Is it more expensive? Like $1,000? So you're saying for me to go to a track, rent a car, insured, and have a whole day, it's $1,000? I'll pass on that. Bought a car with LE47s installed, probably never going to run 85 because in South Louisiana, we just don't have it. Lund charges extra to tune those injectors. Yes. Worth the trouble to swap them? Yes. If you don't want to pay the extra $250 and you're never going to run the 85. Valve Guy Seals go out on the Lexus engine family comment. I know it's not a Lexus. You have built to the point that it does fail the leak down test when it fails. Just hit a live to catch up. My bad. You're good. Alex, check out the Extreme Experience. They offer track road course racing events, rented car with insurance. But how much? I'm going to get Alec diced for the summer with my shit talking. Maybe not car rental. However, you have the car. Something NA you can do easily. What? My 13 GT? I'm not taking my 13 GT on a fucking road course. Fuck all that. It's like $250 for a new tune, then $500 for a boosted, and if you change parts, exactly, JD Swag. If we have an event at Sebring, come up, drive our mule. Email me. Come on, email me. Get me into these cars. I'm a celebrity. Get me into a badass car for nothing. Now, the Extreme Experience is ass. They barely let you go like 90 miles an hour. Okay. Alex, how would you build 1,000 horsepower and under F-150 for 8th mile racing on a prepped street looking to get into F-150 game? Well, that's actually Jake's truck, Mr. Prime 269. Any turbo kit. Name your turbo kit. 20 pounds of boost should generate, if it's not a restriction, on the 85, should be enough to make 1,000 rear wheel horsepower. So, stock motor, get yourself full pump gears, and a crank sprocket, just to make sure that's out of the way. Then you get maybe a ported manifold and lock the IMRCs open so the IMRCs are never an issue under boost. Then you get yourself an Aldo kit. You get yourself Hellion, whoever makes twin turbo kits for these trucks at about 20 PSI. You get a built transmission by Richardson or Power by the Hour or Midnight. And you get a fuel system, a return style fuel system, level 2 from 4 Innovations. E85. You go get yourself some Caltracs, not Caltracs, Caltrac bars, a lowering kit, Beltec, some Vikings, and there's your fucking mid to low 9-second truck. Maybe you're buying a tractive for your Nikes, okay? A few grand probably if renting and don't want to be babysat. Gotcha. Extreme experience is stupid expensive. $300 to $400 for 2 or 3 laps. Yeah, fuck all that. Dude, get a Boss 302 and road race it. Get a Boss 302 and road race it? Is that what you just said? The firm, aka Keystone Airport. It would be cheaper to buy an NA Miata or E36 to go road racing. Get Turvy to show you around the track. See, I've always talked about the road racing stuff, but I've never really delved into it all that much because I don't know, it's just another thing. But guys, there's been times that I'm sitting here bored. There's no track near me. They closed down the track here, and I'm like, today would be a good day to plan out to do some stuff. And I've sat here just like bored trying to make videos about whatever, and I'm like, I could, if I had something like a road racing event I can go to and give you a whole day. But the problem is, guys, the footage is super boring on road racing days. I love you. Every time I see a road racing video, unless it's like a Bathurst with the GT supercars, it's boring as shit. Absolutely boring as shit. Back on the Patreon chat. This is a nice little thing we have that going. Let's be honest. We all got a dead rat in the drawer somewhere. Vegas has a dream drive and it starts at $200 to $300. Dead rat is how I read codes in my wife's truck. When I bought my car, the guy gave me an X2 with it, and it even gave me the tunes off it because there's no support anymore. My Coyote Swap tune NA build LRX is $1,300. Miss Lund was awesome and answered the questions I had after the purchase. Exxon Devil Dog says FLKA, and why not hit up Frank Perdomo? You've taken out his Coyote Swap notch once at a time. He's too busy. He now manages some like construction firm, and he's too busy. And I don't want to bug him, and I don't want to be a bother. And guys, you got to understand, I'm a loner, man. I don't want to fuck with anybody, man. I just want to be left alone. There's the track. Get your car out there. Fuck off. That's what I want to do, man. I don't want to become part of a group. I don't want to help anybody. I don't want anyone helping me. I don't want camaraderie. I don't want conversation. I want to be left the fuck alone and just do my own fucking thing. That's hard nowadays. Yeah, Alex, get an R8 for road racing. Yeah, I said get a Boss 302 and road racing. Boss 302s to me are special cars. You don't road race them. You road race a fucking Gen 2 manual performance pack GT that's clapped out. IRS, good suspension, decent brakes. You're a shifter and brake pads and a suspension away from having a pretty goddamn great car. I might just do that. You can get this for like $16,000. Ingot 50 says, Alex, I got a quick question. I'm tuned with Lund and I do mostly road racing. I have all 4 wet systems. What the fuck? I have all 4 wet system NOS. From bottle heater to window switch, I want to enjoy occasional drag racing with friends. 100 shot smart? Alex, quick question. I am tuned with Lund. I do mostly road racing. Did you mean roll racing? I have all 4 wet system NOS. From bottle heater to window switch. Want to enjoy occasional drag racing with friends. 100 shot smart. Bro, run that shit through the AI. Hey, do me a favor, Ingot 50. Like, tell them to clean up that, and maybe I'll understand what you're saying. What do you think about the new MGW? I don't care about anything MGW. I love it. For the 01, try redoing the leak down test to isolate where the compression loss is. Exhaust valve seat intake. LMP of MD has the car. If they want to get into it that deeply, they can. They have my permission. If it's 50% and they're like, we think it's the rings, ship it back. I'll arrange the shipping and I'll just drive it until I figure out what to do with it. Caltracs, damn, homeboy copied the name too. Exactly, guys. Guys, thank you. You don't get it. You don't get it. This is the thing. Caltracs. Caltracs. You understand? People aren't original anymore. You get these for the F-150. People aren't original anymore. Oh, I don't want to fucking promote that website. Fuck that website. Fuck them too. Fuck them forever. So yeah, you get you a set of these Vikings, some slicks or drag radial, turbo, E85. Fucking, you have a 9-second truck right there. What the fuck's the problem? It's like insanely easy to build at least a 9-second truck. I am tune, I am car, it done. What this dude even saying? I don't know. He definitely means road racing can use NOS on a road course. Exactly. For NOS systems, 100 shot, it done. Buy a Crash Gen 1 or Gen 2 from the parts farm. There you go. Just a memoir. If I want to get into road racing, this is what I'm getting. I'm getting a Gen 2 Mustang, black Gen 2 Mustang, performance package, Ben Calmer, get me an MT82, get it, get a Vengeance clutch on it, get long tube headers on it, E85 LU47s, 18 manifold, PMAS cold air intake, suspension, sticky rubber. That should be enough to get me in the game. Never register the car. Never, ever, ever register the car. Road race it only. I would do that. That's what I should do. That's what I tell people to do, and I never take my own advice. Google Translate fail. Alex, quick question. 7 years ago. Oh, fuck. I love you guys. Buy a Clap 350 or a Clap Boss. The 350 is an expensive buy to do that. Even a Clap 350 is $40,000. Hello. Drop the like, drop kicking the like and catching the replay. Exactly. Caltracs. Exactly. Caltracs. Homeboy, there's no originality anymore. Yep, I knew it. He liked them black. Hey, that's a great plan. Never register the car. Gen 2, it's got IRS. And this is what I would do. Steeda, I need the best road racing suspension you got that you recommend for this car. I'll buy nice wheels and tires, upgrade the brakes and the studs, then the pads, change the fluid. Fuck, that'll be a fun car. That'll be a fun car, and I'll be into it for less than $22,000. And it's a Gen 2 Mustang, and I have like 30 Coyote motors in the garages right now. Easy. Dolo. Exactly. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to see. The thing is, though, to buy a car that's like I'd probably hit up Steve. I'd be like, bro, can I just ship you the car and you just put all the shit in? I don't want to do it. Hey, Steeda, you wanna promote? You want to do this gay shit where I use people? Okay, here you go, Steeda. Even though I talk shit on your shit, let's promote. Here you go. This channel is going to become a road racing. It's going to add road racing to its repertoire. But I want your suspension. I want your shit representing myself because I like your road race suspension stuff. I'm going to tune it. I'm going to put the mods in it. It's not going to be crazy modded. It's not going to be supercharged. It's going to be NA shit. And just beat the ever-living day out of shit out of this car. Ben Calmer got me on the transmission, the clutch, get an aluminum drive shaft, IRS, soft shit, and we're good. Bro, all day. There are way cheaper Boss 302s out there. Get a dark horse and road race it. Nobody's original anymore. Why buy a Crash Gen 2 from the parts farm when you could just buy a Crash GT500 from PBD? You guys think a PP1 Gen 2 handles better than a Boss? Yep. Absolutely. That's all you need, and it will be a blast. That's what I got. Yeah, the Boss 302 is not as good as a performance package Mustang Gen 2. A Boss 302 around a road course is slower than a performance package. Why? The IRS is that good for that particular reason. Mr. Prime, forgive me, I'm newer. Why does Alex hate that Kelly dude besides him selling rebranded Viking stuff? Oh, boy, anyone want to get him up on game? Sheesh. Those mods, if some weight pulled out, it'd be up there. I believe so. Yeah. Fuck. Okay, let's do it. The Parts Farm. Okay, because they are a sponsor, I'm going to give them a big solid because they hooked me up with the notch. I felt bad that I sold it out from underneath them, but what are you going to do? Shit happens. Okay, so let me see if they have complete vehicles. I don't have the money for this, guys, so I'm just looking. Okay, well, they have shells. Look, a BMW E46 with a rebuild title. You guys love these cars. I hate them. I don't like them at all. Aren't the motors trash on these things? Right? Aren't the motors trash on these cars? You tell me on the chat. Actually, I'm going to pull up the chat. Are the motors trash on these cars? I don't know. IRS is better than SRA. Exactly, I agree. Man, properly set up live axle can be just as fast on a road course. Yeah, it's cool. But what does that take? What does it take to make a properly set up live axle? So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this thing. So I'm gonna pass on it. I'm looking for a Gen 2 Mustang. Another BMW, Camaro, the same BMW. That's it. Shit, they don't have complete cars. Well, that's all. Do they have like, what else they have? New cars. Okay. What they got going on here? Okay. Yeah, but this thing's fucking clap. It's 10R80. Okay. Stock 2020 GT 10R80. Fuck 10R80. GT Vusen. What's it got? 18 Gen 3 Vusen wheels. Okay. Let's see. We can make this a road race car. Let's see if we can make this a road race candidate. Anything else? Is it like sandwiched? That's okay. No, nothing wrong with that. It's a little sandwiched in the front. Oh, shit. Well, it looks like it got a little toasty. The fuck? Oh, shit. ¿Qué pasó? Whoa. Damn. Shit, son. God damn, that thing got fucked up. Boy, poor car, huh? Oh, man, it was a premium car. I wonder if his clutch line let go. Oh, man. What an interesting story on that thing. Fuck. Okay, interesting. Partsfarm.com getting some representation here. So we're talking about road race cars I can build cheap. Autotrans. ESS Supercharger Alky Kit 10R80 car. Is this the one that went off into the ditch on that Instagram video? Is this that one that went off into the fucking ditch? Yeah. That guy was laughing his ass off in that video. You know what I'm talking about. I'm looking. There's a 2-valve. Boy, I don't think they have a car that's like a good candidate for a Celine. It's a bitch ass Celine though. GT500 truck. Well, they got a lot of cars. Look at a C5. I mean C4. Jesus, C4. Oh, Indy pace car Camaro Catfish. Wow, look at that. How'd you guys get your hands on that? That's kind of cool with the fucking period. Wow, how did it go so fast to get this jacked up? Crazy. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing out on anything. Oh, here we go. Oh, you still got this? I thought it was the 350. Okay, so what's wrong with this one? Oh, it's fucked up in the back. Oh, look, yeah, I got hit. It got hit pretty hard. So I'm looking for something that like doesn't need a whole bunch of work. Do you guys still have the 350? I can't swing it right now. Fuck all that. GT 350. Oh, they got a 350 with 6,000 miles. Well, look at that. What's wrong with it? Oh my God. What the fuck? These people jack up these cars, bro. I think the red one's long gone. I think he kept it in his garage or something. Because I was negotiating with him, but I just didn't have the money. And then the money was allocated for the Fairmont, which kind of sucks because I don't know. I'm not second guessing it. Boy, what the hell did this guy do? Dukes of Hazzard shit? Look at that. This is crazy. What's wrong with this one? It's the 350. What the hell? I mean, is the suspension straight? Bro, if the suspension's straight, meaning it needs some tweaks and some replacing, black 350, I'm in. Let me see. What's the other side look like? Is the wheel like up in its guts? No. It's nice. Boy. Airbag went off. Like, is it crushed? I'm not talking to him because then what's gonna happen? Then I'm gonna have 8 cars here. Then I gotta rent out. Then all of a sudden I'm broke one day. Well, what happened? Why'd you go broke? Because I bought 800 cars and couldn't afford any of them. I'm stupid. Dude almost killed himself. The guy filming his laugh. I was laughing so hard. Sorry, 2021 your Mustang. Dropping a like or watch the replay later. How many people said Miata so far? Vorschlag is where you want to go for road race stuff. Only the best. That Gen 3 looking mighty toasty. Anthony, love it. Heard toasty and had that 4-nos wet tune taker. 4 out of 5 people, Sleepy Boy, about the Miata. Shout out to the parts farm. I bought the rears off that wrecked black GT500. The dude hit a wire fence. The Fast and Furious GT50. Alex, you might be able to find a nice car in Hialeah. Oh, I'll find nice parts of a car in Hialeah. So that's interesting. So this is what I got going on this summer. I want to try to get the Fairmont done by the end of the year, meaning running and driving, not racing. meaning motor in, running, things wired up, and idling. Then I have to take it, have the turbo kit fabbed up. Ryan Eckhart is more than likely going to be the guy that does it. John and I talked some stuff, so hopefully by the end of the year, there's still money around, and we're still tuning, and I'll be able to do that. So Fairmont, boom. I already have all the parts. I just have to, start getting labor done. The GT, 13 GT. I got to get the long tubes on, but I can't do any racing in it until it cools the fuck down, guys. It's been 95 degrees plus every day here. You're not gonna see a apples to apples comparison. It has to be 70 degrees outside for the car to be apples to apples with long tube headers. Then I'll test it the way it sits, so I'm not gonna mod it any further. Then we do a converter on it. Then we get a blower on it, just like that. And then the Corvette's gonna stay the same way unless I can find a set of cylinder heads. We'll see if Alec Bledsoe's like, yeah, I threw some heads in it. No, now money for more people. Late Model Performance retracted his statement. Love it. Alec checking in. Hey, Alec. People have questions about the Corvette. I talked about the leak down test. Is it possible that a cylinder head or valve leak can cause a high leak down percentage number? Yes or no? Is it likely also? Nice to have him here. He's going to be doing some PDRA stuff later on this week, so nice for him to jump on and say hi to the people here since we got 10 minutes left to the show. Matt's Automotive says, it's a 2021 GT manual with a Roush 2650, a good idea and a good price. No. And this is why I say that. The Roush 2650 is the worst blower that has ever been put on a Mustang. It is a front feed old case design with a small throttle body, a narrow intercooler brick, high IATs, and they even built in logic in the tune for air charge temperature and like throttle percentage or something like that. Like it cuts throttle. So that could be an issue. Late Model Performer says yes. So I told Alec Bledsoe, I said, hey, Alec, I think that the car is having like a valve issue because one of the plugs is black oil. So it could be a valve stem seal. It just could be a bad seal. But I can't imagine it's rings, but who knows at this point. But I'm not going to just go, hey, throw some heads in it and see if it fixes shit. Because that's kind of an expensive gamble. You kind of have to like hone in on making a specific test for that specific condition. 17 Roush RS3 or 17 GT350. This is going to be controversial, but I think a Roush RS3 is a way better car than a 350. You understand that the Roush RS3 starts its life off as a GT, then it goes to Roush, gets its suspension, gets the best blower ever to go on a Mustang, except for the Whipple Gen 5 and 6, which is brand new. But back then, a 2.3 Roush rear feed was the best 600 rear wheel horsepower with LU47 injectors, pump gas, and a BAP and an 82 millimeter pulley. And that thing, you could just beat the shit out of it and not have IAT issues. It looked great. It was balanced. It handled great. It had variable exhaust. In my opinion, out of those two, a Roush RS3 is a better buy. Can't you listen to where the air is leaking? I have no idea. Edelbach 2650 for the win. Thanks for the knowledge. Much always appreciated. You got it, Matt Automotive. Stitchy says, Alec Bledsoe, what can an LT5 bracket fit onto a ported LT4 supercharger, and can you put a 112 millimeter throttle body or a 120 millimeter throttle body onto it? I'm hearing they will be discontinued soon for those cars. Gotcha. Late Model says, yours seems like it's rings, but I've been 200 in the 8th with 5 cylinders leaking worse than 50%. So you're fine still. I agree. The car feels strong. It's probably down, 30 horse with that leakage, maybe 40 horse. What do we do when that happens? Just put more boost in it. But in your opinion, is it worth tuning for E85, Alec? Like, I'll send you up the sensor if you want to tune it for E85, if you think I can get away with it with the current fuel system. But if you don't think it's worth it, we'll just do what we talked about and then ship it back. But again, I'm leaving it up to you, kind of. I'm at the Gen 3 showcase on the parts farm. My apologies. Okay, got it. S197 Juan. Roush 2650 is a toaster. Absolutely. Do you think the Roush 2300 is worth it buying? They're still available for the S197. That's what I'm going to buy. After I do the test with the long tube headers and the converter. Oh, shit. I forgot to get the converter from John Sr. Shit. So I'll hit him up, tell him to send me down to 3C, or I'll just go up again and get the 3C and put it on in the fall. Once headers and converter go in and I go to the track, do some passes, blower time. Fuck all that. TJ Sikorsky says, does the Roush 2650 have a quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick?
Quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick. Hey!
Nice. Good setup. Very good setup. Let's see what the Patreon guys are saying. Oh my God, they're putting pictures up. What the hell is happening? The Diddy clip actually is Zapato FLKA. Bro, this Patreon live chat is pretty good. Oh, I get it. Okay, Exxon Devil Dog. I know what you're getting after, but that car has $200,000 into it, bro. I know, I get it. You want me to get a Boss 302. Boss 302s to me are special cars. I would never desecrate a Boss 302 by beating the ever-living shit out of it. To me, they're like perfect cars, bro. That right there, that picture is probably... it's not coming up. Apparently, my internet connection is shit. You want me to make my... Come on. This is $100,000+ car. You guys are psycho with your shit. Absolutely psycho. No way. I'm not going to get a Boss 302 and road race it. It's like getting a 01 and road racing it, in my opinion. Where are we? Back here. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. The chat just disappeared. Alex says, yes, tune it on E still. Also, we leaked it when it was cold. If it had heat in it, it would have been better numbers because aluminum does expand. Late model? I will ship it tomorrow. Let's do it. I will ship you the sensor tomorrow. Have you tune it, and then on D-cell, you can capture that blue smoke coming out the back. That'll be good for fuzz. Who? It's not fuzz. It's the other guy. I don't know, but it's like every other word is fuck. Oh, fucking. Because that car does a big, loud backfire on D-cell. Like, Ben Calmer was in it. He's like, why does a big flame come out the back like this? I'm like, I don't know. Obviously, the tuner sucks. I'm just slamming time in here and here, fuck it, run it. Who cares? You should see the MAV curve. It looks like the Andes Mountains. Damn, it's in the rings. Time to drop money on a 408. Fuck no. I'm going to run it until it can't. I'm going to run that bitch until the rod goes ba-doink. Fuck all that. If a Hurt LS9 can run 4s, 60 to 130 with some work, I'm good. There's a Boss 202 for sale by me with 100,000 miles, and he wants $40,000. Well, someone here had the head gasket blow up on his 19 Roush Gen 3. I believe it. Geraldo says, yes, the leak is coming from the exhaust valve. You can hear it from the exhaust tailpipe. It's coming from the intake side. You have some fun and blow up a glove. No, I trust Alec. He has some experience on these. A Boss seems like a car you do a couple of bolt-ons to, build the trans, good clutch, and just drive it like that. Exactly. A Boss 302, in my opinion, even though it's a badass motor and it's special. You just put tasteful mods in that bitch and just leave it alone. That car is special. It's rings. I sell that bitch. I'm not going to sell it. If the rings are still bad and then it tests maybe 30% or 20% when hot, dude, the car is a 5-second 60 to 130 car with like Sunoco 260 GT, no intercooler bricks, no badass lid, no heat exchanger. It went 572. So you don't think if E85, more boost, better fuel, I'm sure, and bigger injectors, you don't think that fucking thing will end up going 4s, 60 to 130 with some work, even with the leaking that it's doing? I think it will. Discovering you has opened my eyes to how good the Coyote's S550 platform is. Never got it before. Thank you. Let's end it here. What's happened with this program is legitimacy has been brought to the S550. The problem with the S550 is fuckboys buy it. And fuckboys represent it. And fuckboys bring their fuckboy mentality into the S550 Mustang. In my opinion, the S550 Mustang 2015 to 2017 is the best vehicle Ford has made in a very long time. It's a very strong motor that you can make up to 1,000 rear wheel horsepower, boost, fuel, good old pump gears and a crank sprocket, of course. That car can make the power, no problem. If you want to go as far as to put studs in it and really get after it, you can go into the 7s, ask Aldo Welds. If you want to get even crazier and regap the rings on stock stuff, that car can go into 780s, 770s and not have issues with the rod, crank, or pistons if you get into it. So the IRS is going to be the tricky one. It's going to cost you more money to get the IRS to settle and be happy. But once you get it and you talk to Lund and they give you the proper recipe, the car can be a deadly, awesome, wonderful, reliable, great driving, great performing vehicle. But the problem is the fuckboys have taken over the S550 game. This channel legitimizes the S550 based on its performance value as opposed to its stance and clout value. I don't give a fuck about any of all that stuff. 10,000 miles is not 100,000 miles. Oh, for 40,000 bucks, that's pretty good. Is there a difference between BAP and a booster pump? Nope, it's just an acronym. Gonna get them guts in the ZR1. Yeah, the car's in great hands with Alec. I follow his page and he does some very good stuff in the GM side. He's the only guy I trust. Nothing against other shops. But when you stay on the phone with the guy for an hour, and that's what I like about him. The dude just calls me randomly. He's like, we talk for an hour. Like right off the rip, there's an hour gone, or maybe two, if he's really sassy about something. He just checks in, says, yeah, he's a good guy. That's why he's a sponsor of the show. I'm like, bro, whatever you want. You let me know what you want to do. Let me know videos you want me to pop off on. I'll get them up there. I'll get you some notoriety. If you need more sponsorships for another race, let me know. The Amri's got you. We're good. We're tight like that. Like I do my SRT Durango, it's great. The 392 is basically NPC muscle car, non-playable character. You know what the problem is? Manufacturers are making cars to do everything for everyone. They aren't specialized anymore at an affordable level. Stitchy says, I hope one day we have another LT live stream. It'd be amazing to understand it more and in depth and ask questions about them. Alec Bledsoe wants to do another live stream. And I want to get him on a Thursday. Hell, we'll do it on a Tuesday, I think, because it's better to have more people. And Alec can just take questions from the people for an hour or two, as long as he feels like taking questions. That'd be great. Merkstang James says, hey, Alex, just made it. What did I miss? Can we start over? All right, guys, I'm out of here. So today we talked about Ford, GM, Volkswagen, and Toyota reinvesting in ICE vehicles, ICE motors. So it seems like the EV push has stalled for the time being, and I'm blown away that they haven't really hopped onto the hybrid train. I think that's the best bridge by far. Also, we talked about me getting into road racing, and I think a Gen 2 from the parts farm and never register it and do some Steeda suspension stuff would be a great option if I ever wanted to get into road racing stuff. We talked on the Patreon chat. Thank you guys on the Patreon for being involved on the live chat. Thank you guys here for being involved. Remember, become a member or a Patreon member. It'll give you perks, videos you can't see anywhere else. You get a nice little icon. On Patreon, you have direct access to me. You can talk to me directly via direct message for build and setup questions, not tune-specific questions, because if you're tuned by Lund, work with your tuner in the ticket system, and that's the way to do it. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you, Alec Bledsoe, for hanging in for a little bit. We'll talk to you soon, and I'll ship you that flex fuel sensor so we can get the ZR1 on E85, even though the motor is leaking all over the place. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys on Thursday. See you later. Bye.